Well, good morning. It's a shop day because in my wife's Jeep, when you put it in reverse, the backup camera does this. That's supposed to be there, but the view of the camera is also supposed to be here, and it's not. So I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit here because I already got all that out, but I pulled this panel off and found the CB antenna wire broken. And the camera control wire looked fine, but I started peeling back all the loom and all that, and underneath I found this. So then I dug a little deeper, pulled all the loom back off, and cut all the wires off fresh, and we're gonna solder every one of these back together and then hope the camera works. Because here's a fun fact about me. I can fix a lot of things, I can build a lot of things, I can do a lot of things. Soldering, there, is not one of those things. I don't know what it is about soldering. It has kicked my ass from day one for years. I just can't get it. If the frame on this Jeep snapped in half, I'd be like, well, big deal. We'll get it fixed, and then what are we going to do after lunch? Soldering two wires together, I'm like, no, I can't do this. I don't get what it is. It just defeats me. I can TIG weld and aluminum and everything else, sanitary stainless welding. No big deal. Solder just kills me. Only recently have I finally started to kind of get the hang of it enough to where it actually works. So I've never tried it on wire as small as this or this many wires in one little space. So this is going to be probably stupid simple to some of you watching, but this is like, to me, going to be tough. So I just took the wire cutters and cut all these, including this one. I've already twisted this one back together. This is some sort of uncoated, must be a ground wire or something like that. So we don't have to put any shrink wrap on it. I'm just gonna solder right there, and then we'll start going one by one through all these wires and soldering them back together. Okay, I got the ground, whatever this is, wire right here together, and that black one soldered together. The problem is they're wanting to be pulled apart right there. I have this little helping hands deal I got to try to learn to solder, which works great sitting on a bench, but obviously doesn't work here. So I got this one really tight and together, and then I got this one really tightened together. So now when I go for the next ones, they shouldn't be trying to pull apart so good. So I'll put this heat shrink on and get it shrunk up, and then go to the next wire and the next wire and the next wire, and hopefully it works. Okay, now I fully understand the process. I understand how solder flows. I understand heat induction into the wire. Like, I get all that. I'm a fabricator. Sticking one metal to another is kind of my thing. But as soon as it goes from my brain to my hands with solder, something just does not compute. Like that right there. Probably looked horrible job to some of you who really know what you're doing, but to me, that's like a super success. And I think this heat shrink is a little too big, but it's the smallest I have. So that's what we're going to go with. And I know this is not the right tool for the job, but it is the tool I have. So today it is the right tool for the job. We're going to go on the close enough program today. All right, what color do we want to do next? I think red looks like a good choice. These wires are just so tiny. All right, don't forget the heat shrink, because I always forget the heat shrink. Every time, except that time. Okay. I know you can't see very good, but I'm kind of more concerned with making this work. So, feed the wires through each other, twist them together. Hope it stays when I let go. Grab the solder gun. Grab the solder wire. This is a rosin core wire, so I think that means I don't need rosin, I guess. I think that's good-ish. Don't know. All right. Then heat shrink over the top. Then take lighter to heat the shrink. And then get yelled at by the internet for doing it wrong. Okay, now I know I'm probably not doing this in a way that you guys can see very good. But if you're watching this to learn how to solder, you are making a huge mistake. I think that's okay. Like I said, give me a TIG welder and a piece of broken cast aluminum, which most people think is impossible to weld, and I'm happy all day. Actually, I think I have some pictures of a cast aluminum repair job I did. It was the lid to a food grinder in a restaurant, so it had to be a sanitary cast aluminum weld. Ouch, that's hot. The lid was, I think, $750, and one of the hinge ears broke off, and I was able to weld it right back up. Ow, that's hot too. And make it work. I'll splice that in right here. You know what, while we're at it, why don't I splice in some pictures of some of the sanitary stainless I used to do too. I worked for a lot of a winery group, and I built and maintained and repaired their bottling lines and wine tanks and piping and all that stuff. So sanitary stainless welding and building custom parts for it was also something I did, oh, son of a bitch, a whole lot of. So throw a couple pictures right here. And you can see I actually kind of somewhat have an idea what I'm doing until it gets to solder. So stay. Thank you. Okay, please stay together while I try to stay together. Okay. Heat from the bottom, solder from the top. Wow, that one went quick. I'd love to tell you why it went so quick, but I have no idea. So, okay. I believe that is together. Starting to get kind of busy in here. Good thing that's the last wire. Okay. Heat it up. And I keep blowing out the flame when I talk to the camera. But normally I talk to the camera because I'm talking to you guys. This time I'm also kind of talking to the camera because I'm trying to talk myself into knowing what I'm doing here. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Alright, all the wires are now one piece. So now we're going to go up front and see if the backup camera doesn't come on. Okay, be quiet, turn on. We can go reverse. Yes, look at that. I am so impressed with myself right now. Backup camera works. All right, now I'm happy. Did you see that? I accomplished something that had to do with soldering, and that's pretty much never happened before in my life. So now I've got to clean all that wire back up, tuck it back in the wiring loom, make it look all pretty and nice, and then try to reroute it so it doesn't get cut again as it bends in there. Okay, I got it all electrical taped up, going in the kind of plate. Oh, that's got to get, I got to just pop those clips back in. But following the factory wire that runs the brake light and the lock back here. So I had this all zip tied super tight all the way through here, and I think that might have been the problem, is this is made to flex one way and this wasn't. So the fact that this was being forced to do what this wanted to do might have been why it got pinched in there. So now it's kind of free to do its own thing. It doesn't look like there should be any pinching happening there. I do just got to pop that back in place there, but then it can go through right the same cutout here where the factory one goes, and I think we're done. All right, now this can head out of the shop, and we have a backup camera. Nice. Okay, so like I said, I know that was super simple and dumb to most people, and the majority of people out there probably could have done better, but the backup camera works, which means my wife will be happy, which means I win. All right, that job is all wrapped up and done. Camera works great, wife is happy. Got all our tools cleaned up, and speaking of clean, if you didn't see that segue coming, you're just not even paying attention. But speaking of super clean, I got a lot of comments on my super clean commercial, some of you guys called it, about like, oh, they must have said you had to say all that stuff and you're just following a script or whatever. And no, not at all. Actually, the reason we pushed super clean so hard in that video is because they didn't give me any requirements. They sent me an email out of the blue that said, hey, we like your channel, we like what you're doing, we'd love to send you out some of our product to try out. If you like it and want to share it with your viewers, that's great. If not, no big deal. Also, what size shirt do you wear? And here's a hat. So they sent it out with not a single requirement to ever mention them in a video at all. And they didn't need to do that. They're a big name company who doesn't need my support or whatever to say that it's a good product. Their product speaks for itself. So they had no need to do that, and they did it. So that is a company I really appreciate. I've had a handful of other companies reach out to me, some very small and no-name companies. We'd like to send you this product, and here's what you have to say about it. Here's how long the video has to be. Here's what the thumbnail picture has to be. Basically, give me a script. And you guys haven't seen a single one of those products because I say no. But when a company like this, who doesn't need my support, sends this out with zero requirements at all, that's very much appreciated. So that is why I pushed it so hard in that video. And they saw that video, of course, and liked the response from you guys. And then they reached back out to me and said, hey, well, we loved the video. We loved the response we got from your viewers. We would like to also send some of our product to one of your viewers. So they told me I could do whatever kind of contest I want, giveaway contest, stuff like that. And then they would send out to the winner one of these bottles of the degreaser, and then one of the cans of the aerosol foaming can that we used at the shop the other day. And they said I could pick a winner and do whatever kind of contest I wanted. So I thought about that, and I could have totally titled this video some sort of like super clean giveaway, something like that, put all this on the thumbnail, and then I probably would have got a lot more views doing that and people clicking on it because it's a giveaway. But instead I decided to hide it in the video, not mention it at all, and put it at the very end where we are now. That way the people who are watching and supporting my channel are the ones who are going to win. Like I said, I could have got a lot more views if I put it in the title of the video, this big giveaway, and then a bunch of people would have probably clicked on that and viewed, and they might have won. But they're not the ones who've been supporting this channel this whole time, that's got it to where it is, that's got companies like this wanting to support me. So as a thank you to you guys who have been here and watching and supporting this whole time, I hid this in the video purposely at the end, didn't mention a thing about it. That way you guys are the ones who are going to be able to enter the contest. And the contest is very simple. Comment down below. Any sort of comment. Just put enter. Just put dot. I don't care. Any comment you put down below enters you to win. The only stipulation is you have to live in the United States, and that's for shipping purposes. I guess Super Clean says there's, you know, like limitations on shipping chemicals, you know, internationally. I mean, it's biodegradable and all, but it's still a chemical, and apparently that's a hassle. So you do have to live in the United States. I know I've got a lot of viewers that are outside the United States, which just blows my mind. But thank you, and hopefully at some point I can do something that extends to you guys as well. But for now, this is what I'm able to do. So any comment down below enters you to win. And how I'll pick the winner is I'll give it, let's say a week from today. I'll go back through the comments and I'll have my 3-year-old daughter scroll through and pick someone, because that is the most random thing I know of is a 3-year-old. So she'll scroll through, pick a name. As long as you live in the United States, that's who will win, and you'll get sent out some of the Super Clean products. So again, thank you guys for supporting this channel and getting it to the point where companies like this are wanting to support as well. You guys are the reason this is all where it's at, more than I am. So thank you. I appreciate it more than you know. Comment down below to get entered. As long as you live in the US, you might get one of these sent your way. But as far as this video, I think we're going to call it for this one. Hopefully get back out to some more towing and recovery jobs in the next one, and we'll see you guys there. Thanks.